for today's video, I thought that I would share with you all what I ate today, AKA really yummy, kinda easy vegan meal ideas. But to be honest, this isn't what I ate today. Which is like, isn't that the point of this video? Well, you know, it is, but honestly, I don't think that would be as inspirational as if I just shared with you guys some of my favorite recipes that I've been making lately. So that's what we're gonna do. I got you for breakfast, I got you for lunch, for dinner, a snack, and a dessert. Oh, and if you guys aren't subscribed yet, stop and take a moment, push the little button, that way you never miss a video. Okay, so real talk, I've been eating this burrito for breakfast, like, I wanna say every day for the past month. This is real, it's so good. All right, so the first step is to chop up the potato, the green pepper, and the onion. And I have this amazing little chopping block. If you guys don't own one of these and you love cooking, you need to get this now, girlfriend. Bed Bath & Beyond, $19.99. Do yourself a favor. Nobody needs to be cutting all this all day. If you guys could smell this right now, you would die. It's heavenly. I happen to have this like legit Korean rice cooker, which before you make fun of me, this is the best investment I think I've ever made in my whole life. Look at that rice. Going back to our potato mixture, looks ready, it's getting a little crispy. I'm gonna throw in just a touch of my favorite seasoned salts. Gonna add some rice. And then just scoop some of the potatoes, onions, and peppers on there. Then to add some fixins, we got our mashed avocado, a little bit of tomato, and then just a touch of sriracha. Just a few. Will you just look at this though? Ninja squirrel sriracha, guys. Ninja squirrel. And now we attempt to roll this up. It's quite heavy. I've definitely watched people making burritos at Chipotle enough to think that I can maybe do this. Tuck it in. There it is, your lovely truffle potato breakfast burrito. Now listen, I already know what you're thinking. Kalel, really? Is there such thing as good vegan grilled cheese? Yes! Yes, there is, and I'm gonna make it for you today. Doesn't really matter how big or small you cut these pieces because it's all going to be pureed. So don't waste too much of your time perfectly cutting everything up. And then I'm gonna cut up the two biggest potatoes in just some big chunks to throw into the wok with all the other veggies. So you're gonna need a really large pot to make this soup in. A soup pot would be wonderful. I don't have one, so I'm using a wok. Gonna throw the onion in there. So when they start turning a little brown and kind of sticking to the pan a little bit, that's when we want to add in the veggie stock. So just a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and pour in probably about 2 cups of the veggie stock. And then just let this all soften together. You know it's ready when you can kind of break up the potato with your spoon. So just kind of start mashing it all together. Then I'm gonna add about 1.5 cups of almond milk. And then I'm just gonna throw in probably about 4 or 5 tablespoons of this. I don't think most people realize how much salt and sodium is in soup, but if you don't put this much, it literally will not taste good. So there you go. I suggest just adding a tablespoon at a time until it tastes how you guys want it to, because everyone has a different, you know, tolerance for sodium. So I like it salty, you don't have to like it salty, that's fine. Of course we want the soup to be really smooth, so we're going to blend it. I'm just using my little Ninja blender. Obviously if you have something like a Vitamix or like a real blender, that would be nice, but this will do the trick. So I'm just transferring all of the puree into a large pot, and then I'm going to add my diced potatoes. Now you could just put this back in the same pot that you originally cooked the veggies in, but I need that for something else, so I'm just going to let this slow cook for a couple hours, let the flavors blend, and let the potatoes soften. Moving on to the grilled cheese, I'm using some French bread to make this just because I think making them really small is super cute. And the best vegan cheese that I think money can buy, Chow, it's from the brand Field Roast. Every single flavor is amazing, but I think the coconut and black pepper is really complementary with the tomato. So that's what we're going for today. I'm not going to pan fry these like you normally would with grilled cheese because that's just excess work that I don't need in my life. So I'm just gonna throw them in my little toaster oven, just like this. And then about halfway through the cooking process, I'm going to take it out and add on my little tomato slice. That way it can melt together. There it is, the potato soup and mini grilled cheeses with tomato. This is such a cute lunch, I feel like, to make when you have company, because it just looks kind of fancy, even though it's not. And the soup is really great because you can make it and then have it all week long. I actually just started making this dip a few weeks ago, but it has quickly become one of my favorite snacks because it's high protein, it's very healthy, minus the little tiny bit of oil, but just having that little boost of protein from the lentils at midday, I feel like has been really good for me. And I feel like using the peppers as a scoop instead of like a cracker or a chip is a much better option. So we have about a 3/4 cup of green lentils in here, and I'm just bringing them to a boil and letting them cook to their like kind of al dente, like not too soft but not too hard. You guys look at this cute little like it's a little sheep that's meant to help keep your pot open. We're gonna need to slice up 2 shallots, so I am using my handy dandy slicing gadget. I'm gonna pour about a tablespoon of olive oil and let that heat up on the pan. And then we're gonna add in our shallots and some garlic. Then we're gonna add the lentils, and then we're gonna drizzle some maple syrup, which sounds crazy, but I promise it's really good. Once we've added the lentils, I'm going to throw in some chopped dill, as well as some fresh lemon juice, and then a very large spoonful of hummus. Also gonna add in a touch of salt and pepper. There you have it, a nice little lentil dip. Mushroom risotto has been one of my favorite things to eat for the longest time, and when I went vegan, I thought maybe that I wouldn't be able to have it again because I think most risottos have cream in them. But I have found a way to make vegan risotto and it is amazing. I eat this all the time and it's like lick the bottom of the bowl good. I'm gonna add just a touch of olive oil to really help these kind of brown up. In the meantime, I'm gonna add an entire carton of vegetable stock to the pot, as well as an entire little tray of sliced mushrooms. This is basically going to create a mushroom flavored broth, which is going to give the risotto a mushroom flavor. Now, believe it or not, we're going to add the rice. About, I'm gonna say cup and a fourth. And you're gonna let it crackle in here. Just dry. Gonna add some fresh lemon juice. So the key to this is we're going to keep adding broth a little bit at a time until it absorbs. You don't ever want to have too much liquid in the pot at one time. So you're just gonna wait until the rice absorbs it. And then slowly, after about 20 minutes of adding it about every 5 minutes, you'll notice that the rice becomes very plump and full of flavor. It's starting to fatten up a little bit. Looks good. Now you can certainly use regular broccoli in this recipe, but I have chosen to use broccolini just because I feel like in pasta rice dishes, it holds up a little more. It's a little more hearty than traditional broccoli. So I'm just gonna go ahead and cut these stems off. While it's still a little bit soupy, I'm gonna go ahead and add in the broccolini so it can absorb all that nice flavor. To finish it off, I'm adding a little bit of vegan butter, as well as some of my favorite seasoned salt. And then just stir it up. So even though I have a huge sweet tooth, when it comes to dessert, typically, honestly, I'm really lazy. I do a lot of toast, or I just put like various things on toast. But this is a little bit of a fancy version of that I'm going to show you guys today. For this, I like using these little flat pieces of bread. I don't know if you guys have seen these before. They're marketed as buns, like for people who don't want to consume as much bread. But they really work well for doing desserts. So I'm gonna toast these. And while it's still hot, I'm going to spread some of this hazelnut spread, which is basically vegan Nutella. If you're not vegan, you can just use Nutella. But I found this at a little like health store. So I'm just gonna spread this on. Well guys, there you have it. That is all of my vegan meal inspo for you today. Be sure to like or dislike this video because it really helps me know what kind of videos you guys prefer, and I make content for you, so I want to know. So be sure to either like or dislike. I don't care if you dislike it, I just want to know. But until next time, bye.